In the land where time was carved into stone, where gods walked among men, and the sun reigned as king, there lies a tale hidden beneath centuries of sand. A name once forgotten, now whispered in awe and fear. Tutankhamun. When a sealed tomb was unearthed in 1922, it unleashed more than gold and glory. It stirred ancient dust and something darker, a string of deaths, whispers of a curse. Coincidence or consequence? This is not just the story of a boy king. It is the story of a mystery that defied time, sciences, and belief. Of a tomb untouched for 3,000 years, and a legacy that refuses to die. Welcome to the Pharaoh's Curse, the mysterious tomb of Tutankhamun. In the heart of ancient Egypt, over 3,000 years ago, a young boy ascended the throne of the most powerful empire on earth. His name was Tutankhaten, later changed to Tutankhamun, living image of Amun. He was barely 10 years old, a child monarch amidst warriors and priests. Unlike his predecessors, he did not conquer lands or build towering monuments. Yet his name would echo louder than any pharaoh before or after him, not because of what he did in life, but because of what was found after his death. And Tutankhamun was the son of the revolutionary Pharaoh Akhenaten, who had turned Egypt upside down by rejecting its pantheon of gods in favor of the Aten, the sun disk. This religious upheaval, temples were shut, priests lost power, the people were confused and afraid. When Akhenaten died, the young Tutankhamun was installed as a unifying figurehead. Guided by elders and priests, he reversed his father's policies, restored the traditional gods, and moved the capital back to Thebes. His reign was brief. He died at around 19, but in death, he would become immortal, imagined. Tutankhamun's early death meant his tomb was modest by pharaonic standards, hastily carved into the rock in the Valley of the Kings. Because he had been a relatively minor figure in his own time, and perhaps because his tomb was hidden beneath ancient workers' huts, and it remained untouched for centuries. As centuries turned into millennia, the sands of Egypt concealed the entrance. Robbers came and went, looting the tombs of the great Ramesses and Seti. But the tomb of the boy king lay hidden, forgotten by time. In the early 20th century, a British archaeologist named Howard Carter believed that the tomb of Tutankhamun had yet to be discovered. He was one of the few who dared to hope that a royal tomb still lay hidden in the crowded Valley of the Kings. Funded by Lord Carnarvon, Carter searched for years with no success. By 1922, money and patience had nearly run out. Carter begged for one final season. Reluctantly, Lord Carnarvon agreed. On November 4th, 1922, one of Carter's workers stumbled upon a step carved into the bedrock. Excited, the team dug further, revealing a staircase and a sealed doorway, untouched, unbroken, bearing the royal seals of the necropolis. Carter drilled a small hole into the sealed doorway and inserted a candle. Behind him, Lord Carnarvon whispered, "Can you see anything?" Carter, trembling, replied, "Yes, wonderful things." The antechamber was packed with treasures, golden beds, gilded chariots, statues of deities, and mysterious animal figures. It was chaos and yet untouched by modern hands. Egypt had never given up such a treasure before. But beyond the antechamber lay another sealed door. Behind it, the burial chamber of the Boy King. On February 16, 1923, Carter opened the burial chamber. It was dominated by 4 nested shrines, within them, a quartzite sarcophagus. Inside the sarcophagus, 3 coffins, 2 gilded wood, and 1, at the very core, made entirely of solid gold. And resting on the mummified king's head was the most iconic relic in all of archaeology, Tutankhamun's funerary mask. Made of gold inlaid with lapis lazuli and carnelian, it bore the calm, eternal face of a ruler preserved for eternity. More than 5,000 objects would be found in the tomb. Rituals, items, board games, weapons, garments, and even food for the afterlife. It was a time capsule, sealed for over 3 millennia. Barely 2 months after the chamber was opened, Lord Carnarvon fell ill. A mosquito bite became infected. He died suddenly in Cairo. At the moment of his death, lights in the city flickered out. Back in England, his dog howled and dropped dead. The press went wild. Whispers of a pharaoh's curse filled the headlines. Stories emerged of a curse inscribed on the wall, though none was ever found. Still, the deaths continued. Carter's assistant, Arthur Mays, died. A wealthy American who visited the tomb perished of fever. The radiologist who first x-rayed the mummy died under mysterious circumstances. Even Carter's secretary died suspiciously, followed by his father, who reportedly committed suicide. A pattern, the public insisted. A curse awakened. Scientists scrambled to find an explanation. The tomb had been sealed for over 3,000 years. Could it harbor deadly mold spores? Ancient bacteria? Histoplasma fungi from bat droppings? Some proposed radiation from the granite sarcophagus. Others pointed to stress, poor health, and the psychological weight of belief. After all, Howard Carter, the man most exposed, lived another 17 years and died peacefully. Statistical studies have shown no significant difference in lifespans between those who entered the tomb and those who didn't. But logic never stood a chance against mystery. Curse or coincidence? Tutankhamun's discovery ignited a passion for Egyptology that continues to this day. The gold, the beauty, the mystery, everything about his tomb mesmerized the world. Modern technology has revealed more. DNA analysis suggests Tutankhamun suffered from malaria and genetic disorders caused by inbreeding. CT scans show he likely had a broken leg. His death may have been tragic, but not mysterious. Still, his tomb remains the most complete ever found. And his story, the boy who restored Egypt's gods, died young and lay hidden in silence for thousands of years, continues to fascinate us. He was a pharaoh forgotten by history, but remembered forever in legend. The pharaoh's curse, real or not, is just one layer of this tale. Beneath it lies a deeper truth, a civilization that revered death not as an end, but as a sacred journey. A boy king whose life was brief, but whose death gave eternal life to his story. And in the still silence of his tomb, perhaps the greatest message left by Tutankhamun is this: history, when disturbed, speaks. sometimes in whispers, sometimes in curses, but always it speaks.